Story Cinderella. Long ago, once upon a time, there was a beautiful and sweet little girl. When she was very small, her mother fell ill. On her deathbed, the mother called her daughter to her. She said, "Always live well and truthful, and the world will be good to you too." Right after those words, she closed her eyes forever. The girl's father was a wealthy businessman who often traveled. Not long after the death of his wife, he married again. With his new wife, the businessman had two more daughters. They were beautiful on the outside but bad on the inside and were very mean to their half sister. They took away her beautiful clothes and made her do all the chores around the house. At night, she was not allowed to sleep in a nice, soft bed, but had to lie in front of the fireplace. As a result, her clothes were always covered in ashes, and she was called Cinderella. Cinderella constantly thought about her mother's word and never complained about anything she had to do. When Cinderella's father went on another trip, he asked his daughters what they wanted. The youngest daughters asked for the most expensive clothes and most beautiful jewelry. Cinderella only wanted the first twig that would bump into her father's hat on the return trip. On the way back, Cinderella's father drove under a hazel tree. A twig brushed past his head, and he remembered the promise to his eldest daughter. At home, Cinderella was overjoyed with the twig. She plants it on her mother's grave and starts to cry. Through her tears, the twig grew into a beautiful hazel. Every day, Cinderella visited the grave, and every day there was a little white bird in the tree. Whenever Cinderella wished for something, the little bird would fulfill her wish. When all three girls were old enough to be married, the king happened to throw a party that would last 3 days. All the beautiful girls in the country were invited. After all, the prince was looking for a bride. The sisters were also invited, but her stepmother would not let Cinderella go. "You don't have any nice clothes to wear to the ball anyway," Cinderella was told. Cinderella listened, but as she helped her sisters comb their hair and put on dresses, she cried softly. Once everyone was off to the ball, Cinderella sat down under the hazel tree and begged the little bird for gold and silver. Immediately, a magnificent dress and matching shoes fell down. Cinderella quickly changed her clothes and went to the ball. At the ball, the prince could not take his eye off Cinderella and danced with her all evening. No one recognized the girl. When the prince wanted to take her home, Cinderella quickly escapes. The next evening, the exact same thing happened. In an even more beautiful dress, Cinderella arrives at the party and dances with the prince all evening. And again, she is gone before the prince knew who she is. And on the third night of the party as well, Cinderella went to the hazel. This time she got the most beautiful dress she has ever seen and all gold shoes. Again, Cinderella and the prince danced the night away. This time the prince was determined not to let Cinderella escape and had made the stairs sticky. As a result, Cinderella lost her left shoe as she fled home. The prince grabs the shoe from the stairs and decides to go in search of the girl. The one who fits this shoe will be my wife. Many girls tried to put on the shoe, but it did not fit anyone. The mean sisters tried, but both have feet that were way too big. Could I also try it on? Asked Cinderella shyly. She was allowed to, and to everyone's surprise, the shoe fitted perfectly. Then the prince recognized her and took her to his castle. Cinderella and the prince get married and live happily ever after. Thank you. Story Beauty and the Beast. Once upon a time, there was a rich merchant with three beautiful daughters. Beauty, the youngest, was the most beautiful of them all. One day, due to unfortunate circumstances, the merchant lost all his money and the family suddenly had to live in poverty. A year later, the merchant received a letter informing him that one of his lost ships had been found. Selling the ship would bring him a lot of money. The older sisters asked their father to bring back luxurious items, but Beauty did not have that desire. Her father insisted, and she said a rose would please me. Once they arrived at the harbor, the ship was seized, and the long journey was for nothing. On the way back, the merchant found an abandoned palace and walked inside. There was a table set with delicious food, and as hungry as he was, he ate it all. The merchant was so tired that he found a bed and went to sleep. The next day, when he went to fetch his horse, he saw a rose bush and picked a rose. Suddenly, he was startled by a monstrous creature. You ungrateful human, the beast roared. How dare you pick my roses? After all I have done for you. The beast looked at the merchant with wild eyes and said, You shall die as punishment. The merchant fell to his knees and said, I am very sorry. I picked a rose for my daughter. I hear that you have a daughter. Bring her to me, and I will let you live. I give you 3 months. Promise me you will come back, and then I will let you go. The beast disappeared after saying this. The merchant took his horse and went back home, bursting into tears and telling the story of the beast. I will go, said Beauty. After all, I asked for the rose. No, said the father. But Beauty could not persuade it. After 3 months, the merchant returned with Beauty to the palace. The beast asked if she had. The merchant had to leave Beauty with the beast. Beauty had dreamed of a woman who said, Don't be afraid, you will be rewarded for your joys. The following days, Beauty spent a lot of time with the beast and got to know him better. Although his appearance was terrifying, he seemed like a good person inside. Beauty lived in the palace for 3 months and got more and more of what she wanted. One day she saw in a mirror that her father was seriously ill. The beast gave her permission to visit him, but he told her that he would die of sorrow if she did not come back within a week. I will give you a ring. Place it on a table if you want to come back. Beauty told her sisters, who were jealous about her warm friendship with the beast. They would make sure that Beauty stayed longer than a week. The beast would die of sorrow. Beauty realized that she longed more and more for the beast. That night she dreamed that he died of sorrow. She quickly placed the ring on the table and fell into a deep sleep. In the morning, she woke up in the palace and hurried to the palace garden. where she saw the beast lying down. There you are, said the beast softly. I thought you had forgotten me. Beauty cried, I am sorry, I want to marry you. I love you so much. After Beauty said that, she saw that the beast transformed into a handsome prince. What was revealed was that an evil fairy had crushed him until someone lovingly wanted to marry him. It was you who did not judge me by my intelligence or appearance. Therefore, I give you all my heart and everything I possess. Beauty and the prince got married and lived happily ever after.